Welcome to ATT Live! Sunday. What is it? January 7th. Look at that.
7 days into the new year,
just like that.
2024.
And like we said we'd be back, and now we're back. I mean, there's tons of shit going on. I mean, we already talked about Hulk Hogan's baptism. Like that was the biggest news, obviously, since the break. But we already talked about this. But I mean, other shit's been popping off.
Dude, 2024 is starting off with a bang.
Literally.
I mean, it's like we had an earthquake in Japan, but besides that, yeah.
Tsunamis, earthquakes,
and
shadow aliens.
Yeah, let's get right into that. What the hell is going on in Miami? Right? Tons of people have been messaging us about what's been going on in Miami. So from what I've gathered, right, from watching TikToks that people sent us,
your number one
research on TikTok.
Accurate information. TikTok.
Yes,
absolutely.
I get my information from the Chinese government, what they let me see. From X threads and
X that all major news networks still call Twitter. That was the best part about watching clips about this. Was everybody was like, everything started trending on the company X, formerly known as Twitter, or like Twitter, now known as X. It's like you still refer to it as Twitter. You pay all that money to change your name to X, and people still call you Twitter.
It's always gonna be Twitter.
The initial pop off was just the amount of police presence at, what is it, like a Mall of America kind of thing, like a big outlet mall,
like an insane amount of police.
Right, like every police in Miami basically had showed up to this mall. So first, X was going wild with like possible terrorist attack, possible active shooter, kids with firecrackers and sticks. Then
kids.
And then as like the news kind of kept trending, it started to be like, you'd start to get video of like these huge crowds running. And then one of the first videos I saw of someone claiming they saw something was this woman who said she got on. She's like, I don't know what they're saying. All these police were here. She was like, I was eating dinner, and all of a sudden we started hearing like what we thought were firecrackers at first. And then we heard screams, and then we saw people running. We went out to kind of check what was going on, and we heard gunshots. Like gunshots started popping off, and people came screaming around the corners, running for their lives. So they started running because she was like, we didn't want to get caught up, so we were following the crowd. And she said she turned back and looked, and at one time, as she turned back to look, what she saw was some sort of like 10-foot shadow that was phasing in and out. That was appear, disappear, and appear closer, disappear, appear closer, disappear. And people were fucking shooting at it, apparently, according to some of these videos. I think the most famous the most popular video right now is the overhead helicopter that's going over the police, and they say you see a shadow figure. And I mean, man, I don't know.
I've watched it multiple times. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I've seen a couple where I'm like, I don't know if that's just grainy footage. I don't know if I've seen
some red circles that people put in there, and I'm like, that could be just about it. I mean, all of those cop cars, I assume, are equipped with spotlights. They could literally just be pointing a spotlight at a person that's like walking across, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, and just like pop up a big shadow behind them, like, like. That's
the weirdest. The weirdest thing for me, though, was the fact that that's the best footage we have. Like, this is a mall with fucking thousands of people in it, and we haven't seen like they all have mini cameras.
Well, I've seen some pretty good AI generated ones.
Shit, so
there's some really goofy ones.
I haven't seen anything.
Well, one of the ones, like the first one I saw, this girl, she was like, a lot of people are asking me, why didn't I film it? She goes, honestly, when that's happening and you're hearing gunshots and then you see something like this, the last thing in your mind is to pull out your phone. She's like, I was running for my life. Like, that's the last thing I thought about was
it's like
filming.
There's so many people I'm like,
Well, with all those people, there's literally people right now in fucking the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, you're telling me that people wouldn't double click?
Yeah,
all you gotta do is double click the side of your phone.
You're not telling me to see the Ukraine
tell me you
fucking
double
videos?
tap and just be like, "World Star Hip Hop," like, hey, like fucking, like, come on.
I just saw a dude fucking going through somebody's panty drawers and bombs are going off in the background and fucking in Gaza. So
I mean, it's interesting. I've seen videos. There's been like TikToks and reels posted of like Miami police, and like they range from like one officer being like, "Y'all need to get off the drugs." There ain't no aliens.
Well, the Miami PD, like they put out an official response to the video. Like I guess like the alien thing got such like a huge. I mean, there's like you said, the reels and TikToks and stuff were like millions of views, and like I guess the Miami PD felt like they had to put out a response to this and literally say there are no aliens.
Well, it's because they're shadow people. We don't like, right?
Yeah, they could be demons.
Yeah. This is Mambo number 6.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
Lou Bega was on. Yeah, does anybody know the whereabouts of Lou Bega currently? Like.
There has to be a hellmouth in Miami for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. The other interesting, I saw another one of a Miami police officer being like, they won't let us talk about what we saw that night. There was something out there. I can't explain it. And I was like, God damn. But like the weird thing to me is I'm like, people that I know there's these kind of people. I guess this is just a bit of like me being naive, but it's like someone to go like, who is there to then go on, like, if there was nothing, to then go on your Instagram and be like, I saw something, there was something there. This is what I saw. It was crazy. I'm like, you're like, if you didn't see something, you're scum. Like, you're absolute scum. Just like
they're trolling.
Yeah, but nobody would ever lie about something they saw. They're
just trolling, bro.
Popularity online, right?
They've had one or two people that come out that like posted something and they've said that, no, I was just trolling. I wasn't even there. Like, I just posted this. And like, there's been a couple of those.
Well,
I don't know. Yeah, it's like you can have all this stuff that flipped out, like the alien stuff kind of popped up in there pretty soon when there's just in between that information vacuum and that, we have this instant access to so much information, and so stuff like just gets out there as fast as possible. And it's like, yeah, like the original report apparently was, after the dust is settled, there was an original report that they heard like somebody had reported gunshots, and it's like Miami has had like 2 serious mass shootings, like over 20 people dead, like in the last decade or so. So it's like, I would see like responding to that, they might want to send like everybody. One, right? I think they said, the police officer said they called out like a city 3 or citywide 3 is what they call it. It's basically like an entire all active police officers respond to whatever situation is going on. So it's like, yeah,
but we don't still really know, like from what I've heard, it's kids. There was a bunch of teenagers with sticks fighting and firecrackers. They only arrested 4 people. There was like fucking 300 cops.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. They didn't know what was going on at first. Like, it's like you call a citywide 3 and it's like, well, they heard reports of gunshots at a mall. Like, it's a mass shoot. Like, they've had mass shootings. They had to respond to, what was the whenever
I guess so, yeah.
There's the Orlando, what was it? The one club shooting, and then and then there's the other one. There's a Hialeah shooting, which was like, one of them was like 23 people dead. Like,
you always err on the side of caution.
You said,
just going to the chat,
respond.
Just going to the chat, Invalid ID says they don't show up like this for school shootings. Like, well, they're not at malls, right? School shootings don't happen at malls.
So it's something like that where it's like, yeah, they have all of these cops just show up because they heard the first thing that was reported was gunshots because it was firecrackers or whatever. They arrested 4, and I think they said there was like, they also, like, the whole situation like got out of hand to the point where it's like there was looting. There was like minor looting going on. Like, some stores were broken into, and then there was some guy who,
with every single cop in the city in there, they're like, oh, might as well
start it. Right? And it's like, hey, if you take it, chaos. It's just like people gonna. And then you got that. And then apparently there was another situation where, like, during the whole mass confusion stuff, that some guy like got a bottle thrown at his car, and then he stepped out of his car to see who threw the bottle, and then he got jumped by a bunch of kids, and they all beat him up and took his phone from his car. I was like, geez. just totally wild. Just wow.
Evan Cochran says, whatever, all things considered, looks like we handled the first wave.
Exactly. Right.
I mean, it's like I said, for that, I feel like there'd be more reports coming out if there was actually, it's just one of those things that's trends, and then you get
They're
people
snuffing it out.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's a cover up. These people have been neuralized. All their fucking footage has been destroyed.
That's true. They're
it's a mass
flashing everyone on the way in, on the way out.
You're telling me nobody has any footage? That's fucking garbage. There's no way. We haven't even seen footage of these kids running around fighting or loot. When has there ever been looting when you don't see fucking something on social media? These fucking people loot 7-Eleven and you watch somebody get beat with broomsticks.
Yeah, they always film themselves looting.
All right, I would have saw this on my Twitter feed because somebody would have got beat up, and that's all my Twitter feed is violence. Like, I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it.
It's people are saying that this is, there's been reports of this is a psyop, right? And I don't, what exactly is a psyop when they're saying like, this is a psyop? I hear that term thrown around a lot.
But
psychological operation.
Yeah, but to what end? Yeah, to what end?
To study.
Okay. So it's like some sort of CIA, like Operation Sea Spray or something. They're just like, let's see what happens if we just, cast some 10-foot shadows in the mall.
That's the current buzzword. Hey?
That's always been. That's always been.
Oh yeah,
psyops.
No, it's really.
I see it all the time now.
It's really popped back up lately. Like as soon as there's like a story like the Epstein List or something, the next thing they're like,
that's
psyop.
what Sandy Hook was supposed to know. Every school shooting is a psyop. Like that's what they keep saying.
Well, not everyone.
That's what they keep saying.
Come on, easy. That's what Alex Jones.
That's a big Papa conspiracy. Alex Jones.
Black Cat Report asked if we've seen the video of the alleged cop trying to explain it away. I did see that.
Now he's dead.
Where's he now?
God, that wasn't even a real cop.
No, it's probably fucking Paul Blart sitting there at the mall.
It's Edgar.
Well, I mean, it's been fascinating. It's so interesting that it's like, because it's literally been trending for like, I feel like a week now straight of people like nonstop about like the Miami shadow people. But it's weird because there's unbelievable lack of footage for the amount of police presence. Like there's fucking body cams on these cops and shit. Like, we're through FOIA requests and stuff. We're going to be able to get that stuff.
I don't know if you can like release it. I mean, those people are technically, I don't think the investigation is closed. I don't think they're getting released that information yet. If they have body cam footage.
Yeah, but there's no way they can talk to everybody at the mall. Like, I don't buy it. It's a cover up.
Invalid ID says it's a mass phone EMP. Yeah, wiping everything.
Yeah, man. Like,
you know what? They just called up Tim Apple and they're like, "Hey, wipe those bad boys, dear Mr. Apple, wipe those bad boys." It's kind of interesting. I've seen everything from like, they're doing projections and stuff because this is, we've heard about the fake alien invasion they're planning.
It's literally the plot
right, to and so they're testing their hologram technologies with these shadow people.
Morrison. It wasn't Grant Morrison.
Fascinating. I love the fact that something like that trends for so long. It just shows
I always mix them up.
There's still tons of interest in this stuff.
Mix them up. Him and what's his face?
Alan
Moore.
Who are you talking?
Moore.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
The two
sir.
comic book guys. Guy Alan Moore wrote Watchmen.
Now, if you're watching this on YouTube or Kick or Facebook, I don't think the Facebook's working, but that's okay. Or Instagram. Instagram's the only place you can't see the cool other sidebars because you can only see the narrow. But you want to support the show? Easy. There's a little scanner there. You can top up the beer fund there. It helps pay the bills and keep the drinks full. Going. And or head to patreon.com/alientheorists. Choose your membership. Membership options are right there. There's a couple more. $10 or more, you could be on the show like Agent Anderson was supposed to do, except he wouldn't reply to the goddamn messages all day. Messages.
We got ghosted?
Mm-hmm.
Sent out the call.
Ghosted in the DMs. Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable.
Big time.
But just like that, Chango 14 with a huge $50 donation.
Big
Django.
Big
go.
Thank you. Yeah, look
Shot
at that.
caller.
Thank you. Big money. Yeah. It's probably going to play a song that's going to get us
yeah.
banned, but that's okay. Cheers to that.
Did you fix that?
That keeps the coffers filled.
We're banned anyways, aren't we?
Yeah. Zell gave us the green light to just
Burn it all
strike out.
down. Burn it
We've
down.
been banned.
So let's get into the next topic here that is definitely, he's going to get us burned on. Fucking the Epstein list, man. Holy shit. This is nonstop. This client list going on. Now, from my understanding that there is a Jane Doe or John Doe.
Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic.
Because it just fed a bunch of information we kind of already knew.
Well, there's stuff that was like this. All this information. Most of the list was leaked before. Now it's the official release. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, like there's nothing.
Most of it's already kind of been out there.
Well, we don't know who this Jane Doe 107 who filed an injunction that got this
we
blocked.
fucking still don't.
No, but we apparently
Lions got Sunday Night Football for the wild card weekend. That's huge. Oh, baby.
It's the 22nd is when we're supposed to find this out. But like even some of the names that we've got are like the Stephen Hawking memes. Right? Of like
You're killing me. The one of fucking Diesel just getting up out of his wheelchair. And fucking, it's like when Stephen Hawking got to the island, he just stands up out of his chair.
It's the one I like this, like Simpsons called it, and it showed Stephen Hawking taking away Lisa Simpson in his fucking helicopter fucking chair. I was like, ooh. They're right again. Turd Ferguson says the rumor was Stephen Hawking liked to watch midgets solve complex equations.
That was some satire posted by one guy, and it's like nobody will believe this, and then everybody believed it, of course. So because satire has no place hilarious. in our social discourse anymore. It's just everything's real.
It will be interesting to see what happens. Like once these names like. Is this gonna be? Are a lot of these people just gonna be able to continue on, doing what they, doing their day-to-day lives?
Not all of those people on the list.
You think this is gonna ruin lives?
Not all of those people on the list were involved with the stuff. Like they were not. Like some of them were witnesses. Some of them were people who turned evidence. Like some of those people are just happen to be associates.
That sounds like a lot of talk from like someone from that might be on the list would say. That's all I gotta say. You know whose name you're not gonna find on the list? Dragon.
Probably not. No. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like the list is just like people who are involved with the case. Like, so it's just like there's a whole bunch of stuff on there. Yeah, there's people who are on the flight logs, but there's also people on the associates list that are like had no idea of like the stuff that happened there. Like there's people on there that it's like these people never took part in any of this.
Yeah, every single person on that list is going to say, "Oh, I was
guilty."
But what I find interesting is like nobody knew who Epstein was before the case broke. We didn't. Like nobody really did. So you could literally have somebody out there doing this stuff like right now, and you wouldn't know, and then you wouldn't know until the list dropped. So it's like anybody could be involved with any of this stuff until the list. So I don't like. To me, it's like there's stuff that's like you could be interacting with people on a daily basis, and you don't know. Like.
And I still think that even some of the people that were put in compromising positions and stuff, I do think that I believe that he did this as blackmail to a lot of these people, right? Filmed it, whatever, took pictures 100%. Of it at this island.
Look at the painting in his fucking house.
And he used it as
bizarre.
He was using it as blackmail, and he was able to get these powerful people to basically, do his bidding or make shift policy that was in favor to him by doing this. Cause it's,
the people who knew him, kind of said he had that weird kind of obsession with like powerful people, influential people, which is like when you get to that, you get to that tier of wealth and power, like it's you move in those kinds of circles, and it's just like people like kind of like talk to him like is like a collector, like he would get these people and like talk to them, but some of them that he would just like want to talk to, like he just wanted to talk to smart people, like he wanted to talk to the people who were the movers and shakers of the top crust of society.
back to like, remember when his property that it was in New York, that fucking massive property that he got for the title transfer for $1 or whatever. Like, obviously he had some shit on that dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's also stuff that's like, you do that kind of shit to like avoid taxes. Like, it's like, you tell me he wasn't involved in some like tax fraud shit and all that thing too. Like, I think that would definitely be in there.
Even this, imagine you're getting a massage. You're like, yeah, you want a massage? Sure. Face down, towel comes off. Epstein sends in a naked, underage kid to rub you down, and you're getting rubbed down, and someone's snapping pictures, and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna publish these, right? Say you took part, right?
Excuse me, sir, but you have extremely tiny hands.
Yeah, you're getting in all the spots. Holy
Donald Trump.
Because Jennifer Swope says, I refuse to believe that Kate Blanchett is a diddler. She was on the.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen her fucking bathing in the blood of infants
to stay young,
orphaned infants.
Also she did kind of have an eye for those hobbits. You know what I'm saying?
Did. Yeah, it's true.
Right? She had an eye for the hobbits. I'm just saying, little people. Nice donation from Redbill21 with a message. The Vulcan Centaur is launching tonight. It is the first U.S. mission going back to the moon. I built these engines.
Spiffy.
Scheduled for launch at 1:18.
Is that the commercial one? Is that
back to the moon? How do you go back to a place you've never been?
Is that the commercial one where they're putting people who wanted to be buried on the moon? They're putting them on the moon. Apparently, like they're shipping up. Yeah, they're shipping up.
Oh, really? That's an option.
Like if you wanted
cool.
to remain,
how much does
I can't
that
remember,
cost?
but there was they were talking about
That's
it.
what did with Spock, isn't it?
No, they launched Spock
buddy.
into the Genesis planet or whatever. So, I guess they launched him into space and he ended up on that Genesis planet.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking shit. I don't know. I just heard Vulcan.
So I can't remember.
Pezzy on Instagram saying, I always miss the lives because of the time difference here in Australia. I finally made it. I'm here, boys. Well, listen, Sundays, 6:30, 7:30. We're going to be doing a roundup of all the fucking conspiracy and alien news.
Recaps on whatever we did on Monday. Whatever we did on the last case file.
Yeah. The last case file was the extravaganza,
sure.
So
I'm still here.
Yeah, so it was just a little more.
I'm still extravagant.
Yeah, littleness.
I guess.
Yeah.
What is it? This week, something to pay attention to is that there are certain House members, the U.S. House, are going to they're going to receive a members-only briefing that they've set up with the Inspector General of the intelligence community that they've set up to talk about specifically UAPs, like the whole this is now the still the David Grush stuff, all after the David Grush stuff. So this is them getting in with the Inspector General, who is supposed to kind of have, who I believe received the report, the official statements and stuff by David Grush talking about how he was, how he has been under duress for his reports and the things that he's come out and said. Yeah. Oh, boo-hoo. So we'll have to see what comes out after this, because it's specifically that. I think the one of the concerns that Representative Tim Burchett, who's kind of been the figurehead for this whole thing, said that he sent a letter to the Inspector General Thomas Monheim in August requesting more details about UFOs, and then including any information on programs that were meant to reverse engineer or retrieve crashed UFOs. So they're going to hear something this week. Do you think honestly though, do you think anything changes tomorrow? Let's just say if the government releases a statement tomorrow, I'll be like, listen, we're sick of Grush. We're sick of all this dragging this out. We have collected extraterrestrial craft. We have it. Other places have it. They've recovered their own. It is what it is. Boom. Does anything really change? Does anything day to day for anyone really change? People, no, probably not. But it's fun to follow. I just keep following this thing because it keeps popping up in the news. I'm just like, yeah, it's fun. Oh, well, it's because that's what we want. We want the end game of them being like, yeah, there's aliens. They keep pushing. That's what we're waiting for. This is some of the things that people are waiting for. This is the soft disclosure people are talking about, or catastrophic disclosure, whatever. Some variation of some factor of disclosure that people have said they've been waiting for, but it's interesting. The only thing, again, I always go back to the only thing, the reason why
could see that there isn't any kind of disclosure is because we're using the technology from these crafts to, make better weapons. And we're like, we don't want anyone to know that we have this thing because we don't want our enemies to know their our capabilities because we have this extraterrestrial technology. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like any other reason to withhold this information, from the public just doesn't really make sense. And if that is in fact the case, I think it just gets wrapped up forever and ever until we literally get, someone I would have to, we get some WikiLeaks.
It'll be some interesting something that whatever, even if it's just political theater, some of this stuff that they're kind of like, whether they're just like throwing this stuff into the fucking like spending bills as using this as leverage for some of the stuff that they're doing. It is kind of fun to watch, the kind of political power plays and who are involved with this. So you're either going to hear something about this weekend and like that whole, what are they, the UAP caucus or whatever they're calling themselves now. And they're going to come out and have some information. We've heard things about stuff that things are going on somewhere. Like it's just, I'm excited to hear what comes out of it. So that's something to pay. I think it's on the January 12th is when they have it scheduled for. So either expect something to hear that day or the day after. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, pretty soon.
That'll be Friday.
Yeah, that's Friday. Next week.
It's scheduled on a Friday when nobody will be there.
Okay. Andrew, I know this one's going to hit close to home for you because you're already scared to fly. Did you see that fucking video of the
fucking window blowing off?
Holy, oh my!
And I never flew again.
I mean, terrifying. One of the craziest things to me in that entire thing is like that flight was packed, but those two seats were empty. Right?
Yeah, because they got sucked out. They just won't let you know.
They didn't want. They're not. They're like, yeah. There was no one there. But it does give me some it does actually give me some, I feel
anxiety.
No, I feel better because from watching too many movies, I thought if like something like that were to happen, the plane just fucking blows apart,
rips in half.
Yeah,
just
everyone your whole seats are getting sucked out of the hole. Everyone's dead. That's 100%. Yeah, sign your death bill. What a terrifying. I don't know how long they had to fly like that, but absolutely terrifying.
What about the Japan flight that like caught on fire and like 5 people died?
Oh shit. Where they landed on the Coast Guard plane?
Yeah, whatever happened there. I saw that.
Like,
whoa.
So yeah, a passenger plane was coming in and a Coast Guard plane with 6 people was still on the runway, and the passenger plane lands right on top of the Coast Guard plane and just explodes into flames. Unbelievable. 0 fatalities on the passenger plane. Everyone on the Coast Guard plane but the pilot passed away. But when you see that video, you're like, oh well, everyone's gone.
Everyone's
on that.
dead.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I guess the two are
miracle.
They differ in the things. It's like, yeah, that is an accident, and then the whole like that one wasn't a 737 Max or something is what the Alaska Airlines one was, the one with the window that popped off, like as a type of plane. But it's like that type of plane they've had problems with like in the past, like that is it 737 Max? But that was one of the planes that people were talking about. I can't remember if it was, I think it was that monolith plane that they were talking about. Like they had this whole thing where they had pushed through its entire like approval, where it has some kind of like tech in it that like really messes with like its altitude stuff that were, it's like, it had what was the other one that crashed? I can't remember off the top of my head. Somebody maybe in the chat can help me out and be like, that type of plane is like a shitty plane. Like they keep just fucking that plane up. And I'm just like, yeah, everybody sell your fucking Boeing shares.
Oh my God. Well, and it's funny. It's like all this plane shit going on. And friend of the show, Ben Bolin, posted on his Instagram. He's on a flight, and on his flight, the panel with the window stuff separated on his flight. And he's like, yeah, no big deal. Totally cool after everything I've seen this week. I was like, oh my God, man, this is like, I couldn't imagine. I would lose my shit on that flight, but goddamn, terrifying ordeal for people.
So,
it's a big plane for you, man.
Fine, still probably relatively safest point across large distances at this point.
Well, it is. Yes, it is because there's more cars on the road. I don't actually like that statistic because there's far more people driving all the time. So like road hours are way more. But like when a plane crashes, you know, people walk away from car accidents more often than not. People die from plane accidents more often than not when they do happen. Right? Like, yeah, no, you don't know. Not everyone's Captain Sully out there. You know what I mean? Landing the plane.
No.
Half cut.
I don't know.
No, I've been to the aftermath of a plane crash, and it looks like a war zone.
Yeah, I bet.
There's nothing there. Like they said, they send an ambulance. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah, you got a trash bag picking up pieces.
Glue? Like, what do you?
Well, then
like,
you'd think that the safest plane would be Air Force One, but apparently, did you guys see the video that they caught of the two guys, the LA flight trackers, and they caught the UFO flying over Air Force One?
I did. You know what's funny? I did see that.
So apparently the two guys, they're like brothers. Is it Peter Solorzano and Joshua Solorzano? And they run like a live stream, I guess, or they're having a live stream. It just like last month or something. Like I remember seeing it pop up, and I guess we didn't get to talk about it until I got to it now. But they were filming the Air Force One like flying over near LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, and so they had Air Force One flies with its escort, and they got two F-35 fighter jets like coming in, and like apparently they were doing the jets were being refueled in midair by a tanker aircraft, but they caught like this strange like little UFO, this little white orb that they said was kind of like seemed like it was almost like it kind of popped up out of nowhere, and they kind of like followed along with like Air Force One for like a minute, and then kind of just like whoop, and then kind of gone as they followed it. So just watching some of the photos, I was like, all right, like the two guys like watching it, like they're commenting, they're commentating on it, and it's just like, oh man, like what is that? Just following Air Force One, like if you were an alien being, and I guess if you were kind of knew about us, you'd be like, yeah, you fly around Air Force One, you want to see what's going on, I suppose. I think the what is it? The prosaic explanation that people are kind of throwing out there is that it looks like it's pretty much a balloon. Like it looks like it's just.
Holy fuck, dude! There's so many balloons in the sky. Then you know what I mean? I'm getting sick of.
And then the way that it kind of acts, and like the way somebody broke it down and be like how it looks like and kind of acts like a balloon. It's not. When you do look at it, it looks like it's kind of like the object is probably closer to the camera than actual Air Force One and the fighter jets.
I got it up on it is small, but I got it up on the screen for if you're watching on YouTube, Kick, or Twitch, Facebook, anywhere else other than Instagram, I got it up on the screen on the sidebar here. You can kind of see it. You know what though? It is. If let's go with a hypothetical here. Say the United States has advanced aerial drones or advanced aerial technology that they don't necessarily want people to know about, that has camouflage capabilities that can maneuver, in these insane speeds. Wouldn't it kind of make sense that you have one kind of just sticking around like Air Force One like this? You're like, well, we're going to keep one nearby in case there's something going on. We have to show our capabilities real quick. You know what I mean? It's right there with the president.
Oh yeah. I mean,
like that would make sense to me.
Could be a drone or something like that, I suppose. Flying alongside of it. But yeah, it's an interesting video to like watch it and just be like, that's really super weird about that going on. And it's something to really kind of be worried about. I would think that the fighter, if it were really something like near the plane, I would expect like the fighter jets to be kind of freaking out a little bit more like about what's going on.
Well, that's exactly if it was close to the plane and they didn't know what it was,
but
you know what I mean? But if they know what it is and they're like, oh yeah, that's our thing. Then why not? Right. They just have it. They're like, yeah, it's all good. We didn't see anything.
But it doesn't, nobody seems too much up in arms about it. It doesn't seem to be a whole big thing. So I don't know what it was, or it could have been just something that they figured, like either it was one of ours, or it was just something that they judged to be non-threatening. And they're like, maybe it's just one of those things that like, yeah, we see these all the time. Doesn't do anything. Like, okay.
They definitely knew it was one of theirs for sure. We blow fucking balloons up.
That's true.
That is true.
Historically,
we don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Yes, we blow up balloons.
Yeah. They knew what it was.
Balloons are a big enemy to the United States.
Number one threat. Number one confirmed kill of the F-22 Raptor, most expensive fucking fighter jet. Balloon.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other one that's that was crazy video, and I actually never looked into seeing if he was okay, so I don't even know what the end outcome was. Did you guys see the video of the South Korean opposition leader who just gets?
He's alive.
Is he? Oh, okay.
But he got stabbed in the throat.
Shit.
Yeah, that was fucked.
He's just like at a rally, and he's just like walking, waving to the crowd, and someone just walks up and just stabs him, just right in the throat. Unbelievable. I was like,
prison style.
And I mean, they get jumped, but it's like, I was like, how he was even allowed to get that close to the guy.
Well, he just ran up and stabbed him in the throat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one to defend, I guess. But like, yeah, just, it's kind of, it's insane to see that kind of stuff, especially, anywhere with any kind of political party. It makes me think instantly of like, holy, what's going on there? Is this like a political hit? Like instantly, that's where my brain goes. So I was like, does the CIA not like this guy? Is he a little too for the people? But it was a scary one. I watched that and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check back in on this in a little bit and see what happens. Totally forgot. I'm glad he's okay. Glad he's making it out.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about? I can't remember during Extravaganza. Did we talk about the predictions, the New Year predictions based on asparagus? Did we talk about that?
No, we 100% did not.
Apparently, in the UK, there is a woman known as there's a woman named Jemima Packington, and she is a self-proclaimed asparamancer. Basically, she utilizes asparagus to predict the future. And this is a technique.
The only thing that fucking asparagus can predict is that your piss is going to stink.
Holy shit. We got Jay Lomar is saying cheers from Antarctica.
Nice.
He's at the Hollow Earth.
Watch out for is McCready down there? Like, make sure the real McCready. So apparently Jemima, she inherited the ability from her grandmother of this technique of throwing asparagus spears up into the air and then interpreting how they fall. And then this leads her to make predictions for 2024. She did it last year and for 2023, but this year she had a list of predictions based on the asparagus, I guess, what is it? Augury, is what it is essentially. So,
I mean, it's PETA friendly, right?
I mean, you're not cutting up chicken entrails or anything, you're doing all right. It's vegan augury, right. Vaugery. So her first prediction, Sparamancer's prediction for 2024, regime change will take place throughout the world on an unprecedented scale, often where least expected. People are increasingly tired of the way their leaders are treating them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
a blanket statement. I'd say.
I mean, that's
everywhere.
It's not wild. That's not a wild prediction. It's pretty good. I mean, it's an easy one. You get a couple political parties change. You're like, look, I was right.
This one is pretty UK specific. There will be separations and divorces amongst the members of the royal family. Do not be surprised to hear news from Montecito.
Well, where's Montecito?
Question.
Is that where the palace is?
No, I don't remember.
What's Montecito? Where Montecito?
I don't know which one it is. I mean, the royal family, like which royal family? Yeah, I'm not really.
Oh, is that California?
Is that Harry and?
Is that so? I must be talking about
Markle and the other one.
Yeah. Well,
they're not in there anymore though. They're solo.
Well, they're like.
Yeah, but maybe what she's saying. Maybe she's like, what's the prince is going to split with Markle, reunite with the royal family.
Let's see. The culture of celebrity will be on the wane. Ordinary people will want to concentrate on their day-to-day battles with rising costs of living and will lose interest in the antics of the so-called privileged few. I guess they're...
Well, you know what? I
mean, that tracks.
That tracks. We're already starting to see that. I mean, like, there's already like there's a push to like these streamers and stuff. It's like the movie star is changing. Like before it was like models, you know what I mean? Then for a while it was athletes. Now it's movie stars. Now it's kind of shifting to like, streamers and stuff, or this like, it's almost like
they're worse though. At least the other people are talented.
Terrible. Yeah. People who stream on the internet. Brutal.
These people, talentless hacks.
Idiot.
Let's see. This was also a little bit. The 2024 Olympic Games will not be a resounding success for Team Great Britain. Sorry, guys.
Well, I can tell that. Is it Summer Olympics?
The asparagus wills.
Asparagus doesn't lie.
Have they seen how fast people from the States run in Jamaica, and how long people from like Ethiopia can run? Like where did Great Britain, where did they think they were going to excel at here?
Yeah,
realistically, what sport?
There's not an Olympics.
They're going to play
there's
badminton?
not an Olympic
They're
category for colonizing.
Koreans at badminton? Yeah. So I'm not knocking anyone that's listening from the UK. I'm at a loss to what sport in the summer that you dominate.
I'm
Table
actually
tennis?
curious. I wish I would have looked this up.
No, they're good at tennis.
Tennis Olympic.
Tennis? Okay, tennis. Yeah, okay, tennis.
Yeah. Tennis.
I could give them some tennis. We got Wimbledon, right? All right. Archery. Someone said archery? Question mark. Yeah, it's a toss-up.
Rowing. Yeah,
rowing.
They got rivers
Rowing
and Great Britain.
Rowing. Yeah. Yeah.
You think they're? I don't think they're. Let's hold on. When was the last Olympics?
2020.
Okay.
I assume. Right? Every 4 years.
Yeah, but it happened in 2021, right? They got 22 gold.
Yeah. So I guess it would be what your definition of a resounding success is. Like, I don't know. Like,
what a fucking bonk prediction though. Like, just like, what a, mild. Like, okay. That's not fucking life shattering or anything. Like,
no, the UK is going to do mad.
Yeah, they'll do okay. They're not going to do terrible, but they'll do okay.
Yeah, they're not going to do bad. They're not going to do good.
Let's see.
What do they go by? Why do they got so many? Is it England? They go by?
Or Great Britain, I suppose.
Yeah.
Great Britain?
Great Britain.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm trying to look
United
up.
Kingdom?
United Kingdom? No,
No.
it's definitely not. It's got to be England. England.
Oh.
No. United States. No. Great Britain. Oh, there it is. Great Britain. All right. Cycling.
Okay.
Oh, they're good at cycling,
Right.
diving, swimming, triathlon, gymnastics, equestrian. Oh, I bet they're good at polo too. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ton of equestrian golds. Taekwondo, boxing in the women's boxing, a lot of cycling. Yeah. Cycling and sailing. Oh, sailing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I could see that. Yeah. This checks out. Yeah. Quite right. Equestrian and sailing, all the real highbrow rich people sports.
Let's see. What's the other one? A raft of very well paid TV personalities will lose their jobs, which I feel like that's like every year.
Happens every year.
An accurate prediction then. Like it's, I guess the so-called influencers will lose their way as people realize it's the real world they live in that matters.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Very vague predictions.
Most of them were kind of, let's see. What was it? This one's pretty specific where it says that, let's see. There's one that the United States we're going to see our first female president this year, apparently. I don't even know who's running.
Okay, we're getting big.
That would have to be like
going to be then?
Nikki Haley or that's it. I was pretty sure she's the only running for the Republican nomination at this point. So that would be something interesting if that happened.
Yeah. I mean,
but if you're I guess you could do worse. Predicting the future with asparagus.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, you absolutely could do worse. That's the whole problem with this. It's like everything's all like, it's mild. It's like, take a fucking risk.
Maybe she should have thrown broccoli.
Someone in the chat saying,
it's a pretty mediocre fucking vegetable as well.
Should have went with cauliflower, I guess. Maybe.
What happens if fucking Father Time croaks? Kamala takes over.
Oh yeah, then that's right. What if Trump wins and he just is like, I am now the first woman president. I've just declared it.
So just to be the first,
right? Yeah, I could see him doing something like that. Wyatt 42069 5 says, love you guys, you're my favorite podcast. Recently got Patreon and I'm starting to listen to the podcast from the beginning. Woo! Enjoy the ride. Woo! I mean, we got hundreds and hundreds of hours on Patreon. Yeah, some of it very small percentage is good, but we got Dungeons and Dragons.
Predict that you're going to enjoy a little bit of it.
Oh yeah, you'll at least half. There's lots, and Patreon's got a great new app, and the website's great now. You can search things way easier. They've done
way more user friendly.
They've done a good job, because we used to shit on Patreon a little bit because of their UI and stuff.
It was rough to go through.
A little rough, but yeah, I got to hand it to them. They've really picked it up, so it's really good there. Check it out if you want to support the show. Patreon.com/alientheorists. It's the best way to support your boys, and in turn,
it's the best way to support and get stuff. It's a pretty fair trade. You get access to all our, after hours bonus content, Dungeons and Dragons, ATT confidentials, like short little bursts, conspiracy bursts to keep you entertained throughout the day. You also get access to our Discord server, which is pretty active and stuff. You want to come in there, you want to chat with us, message us, and you want to talk with other people who listen to our podcast and are pretty cool. That's the way to do it. If you don't have the Discord app or you've never used it, imagine a chat room filled with a bunch of fun, weird people, and that's us.
Yeah.
And you get it just for Patreon. That's tier 1. You give us, what is it, $3?
Yeah.
$5.
You get access to the live streams. Tomorrow we're interviewing a guy about the Theobato. Basically, a guy got abducted.
Went to a different planet.
Tell us all about it. It's going to be cool. You know what? But if not, come hang out. We'll be back here next Sunday, January 14th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shoot the shit on, what's been going on the last week. And listen, if you got some questions you want asked answered, you got questions that you want to ask and you want us to answer, shoot them at us. Instagram, alientheorists@gmail.com, or just be in the chat next week and ask us. We'll make sure to keep some questions for the end of the show. And listen, if there's some stuff you want us to do on these ATT lives, you think a fun segment or something, shoot us a message. We're open to make these things enjoyable for you guys. So just hit us up on Discord or in that email. Andrew, suck my ass. You fucking loser. Keep those eyes on the skies, everyone. Peace out.